Hello and welcome to Unikron's Gaming, or welcome back to Unikron's Gaming. Today I'm obviously going to be talking about a Capcom brawler, a scrolling beat 'em up called Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Right, this is get some brief history, some very brief history. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs obviously is a side-scrolling beat 'em up. I believe it was done in 1993. It's based on a comic book series, Xenozoic Tales. The game was produced as a tie-in for the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs animated TV show, which aired at the same time. Well, the two came out at the same time. They came out the same year. I believe it was 1993 as well. I believe I've seen an episode of the cartoon. It doesn't really stand out to me. I remember it being there, and I also remember it being a comic, but it's not something that I really remember like that. So yeah, I don't have a history realistically with the cartoon or with the comics. So yeah, to be honest, I don't really have much history with the arcade game as well, because it didn't last long in the arcades that were near me or any shops that had a few arcade caps. So yeah, that's the history, or the brief history of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. And let's talk about this scrolling beat 'em up or brawler from Capcom, shall we? All right, let's go. Okay, right. I'm going to assume that this is only a 1 to 3 player game, not a 4-player game. You can choose any one of 4 characters. So yeah, if I'm wrong, I don't know, someone in the comment section who comes across this video, they can correct me. That'd be fine. I've only ever seen this in a 2-player arcade anyway, and for the brief time I did see it. So yeah. Right. The reason I'm playing this game is because for the longest time my friend Chowster said I should really play it. Where I used to play certain arcade machines in East London, this was there fleetingly. It just wasn't around. We had the Punisher, Captain Commando was around for a hot minute, and so was Final Fight. But this just wasn't, and neither was unfortunately Aliens vs Predator, which is really annoying. For me to play the game, I had to go to the West End in the Trocadero. But anyway, back to Cadillacs vs Dinosaurs. First things first, graphics. I do have to say, graphics are really nice. Obviously, they couldn't stray away from the source material, but I don't think that hurt the game at all. The dinosaurs and the art style was really cool. The characters look cool. The animation is really nice. Parallax scrolling is nice. The backgrounds are cool. Enemy sprites, like most beat 'em ups in this age, they're overused, and you just see different color palette swaps for them. But generally, I do like the graphics. They are pretty cool. I would say for a negative, the characters that you control, for me personally, I don't think they stand out when things get busier in a crowd. Sometimes, not often, but you can lose yourself if things are getting hectic. But I do like the explosions and stuff when things say boom and stuff like that. It's, wait, hold on. No, things don't say boom, or do they? I know they do in Punisher, and I just finished playing it for another video. I may be confusing the two. Anyway, the hit marks, they look cool as well when you hit characters. The weapons are nice. They look like they hurt. The animation of the characters, the standard walking animation is okay. The top half of them don't really move that much. Just their arms, but you know. Oh, it does say smack and stuff like that. Yeah, when you do hit them. So no, I was correct. It does it in the Punisher as well. But yeah, no, overall, I really do like the game. On a graphics level, I mean, art-wise, I still prefer Captain Commando. I do like the sprite size. I know they look a little bit smaller than Final Fight, but they're pretty cool. Some of the animations are the same as Captain Commando. This looks like it's just a rip for Captain Commando. Like some of the enemies in this walk, when they get a knife, they walk and look like the mummy. and stuff like that. Some of the enemies look like they're blatantly ripped from Captain Commando. But hey, you know, if they got the license and they're making 2 games around about the same time, well, they think, well, we've got some work here that we could still use. Why not? But no, it's very nice. It's still really cool. As for sound, the music is okay. To be honest, I can't remember any of it now that I've played it. And if you played me some sample tracks, I wouldn't know it's from Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. The speech is really cool. I like the speech in there when they do the special moves. I thought that was cool. Some of it not quite too clear what the hell they're saying, but it's still nice. Yeah, the sound effects are meaty. And they got a little oomph with it, so that's cool. Like when you're shooting the guns, when you're punching in combos and stuff like that, when enemies are getting hit against walls, fences, yeah, that's nice. So yeah, I like that. I've got no real complaints, to be honest, with the sound. I don't know what I would have wanted from the music, but let's face it, anyway, you're not going to remember every game soundtrack. It's just impossible. So yeah, I have no issues with the sound at all, really, when it comes to the music. Audio overall is pretty good. It's just a solid piece of audio for this game, realistically. Sound effects, I think, are probably the best part of it, and then would be speech, and then would be background music for me. Okay, so gameplay. For me personally, I think the game gets too cheap at around about level 3 and 4. It just turns into an arcade coin muncher, really. I like the attacks that you have. I think the characters play decently differently. I like the combos, and I like the fact you can grab and do a couple of extra special moves. The fact it's got a run in there. I think every scrolling beat 'em up should have a run or a dash. I don't understand why they just don't. I like the fact that when you're using the weapons, after you run out of ammo, you can just beat the crap out of people with it, melee style. See, those are the guys that I was talking about. They look like the mummy from Captain Commando, just slightly retooled sprite work, really. Yeah, so I like that part about the gameplay. Look, lovely parallax scrolling there. Lovely parallax scrolling. I like the way that they introduce the dinosaurs in the game. Enemies beat them up, then they get a bit wild, and then they will try and fight you as well. So that's cool. I would have preferred more varied enemies. Like here, look, you've just, apart from their head and the poncho that they got, these are basically the same guys you're fighting. And because of that, you don't really have to use too many different tactics. You've got the heavies, you know, the fat guys that run at you, which look like the ones from Captain Commando. They just once again retooled sprites. So this basically uses a lot of Captain Commando stuff in this game, if you ask me. It's basically in my opinion, a licensed version of Captain Commando. But I think the hit detection, I'd say, is better here than Captain Commando, personally. My favorite game is still Captain Commando, this and that game. But yeah, I think this plays really nice. I think it's the hit detection that does it for me. It's really, really solid. You're not going to think that you're going to miss anything. It's really, really good. And I like the fact that you can pick up weapons and use the weapons. There's a good assortment of weapons. So the melee is really nice when you got stuff in there. Look there, I just ran out of bullets, and now I can just whack right on your headpiece, son. This is a bit I don't understand. When dinosaurs are sleeping, you can't wake them up and use them to help you, which is a little bit annoying. But the enemies can. But I suppose that's just a little crutch of the game there. Some of the annoyances with the gameplay for me, and it's basically the same for almost every Capcom brawler, to be honest. Bosses just pull in a ton of grunts to help them. You don't really fight bosses, it's you and them. They just always got a ton of grunts that make it even harder. But I think this is what the genre was, to make sure that they could nick your money and steal your credits, basically, just to make it harder for you. So sometimes you have to be defending yourself against 3 random Joes while the boss gets up. Obviously he's got invincibility frames when he gets up. You can't stand over him and pap him. Yeah, and then he'll just hit you and take off ridiculous amounts of energy. Another thing, but every beat 'em up does this, but it's still annoying, is that the bosses, they have multiple energy bars. So they're either like your like this game, which is different colors, and you whittle the colors down till you get to their yellow bar, like yourself, or they can be stupidly long, like what's got a long energy bar that's just dumb? The Punisher games would have that, but this game has got the one with just different colored energy bars. I like the fact that they still got the names over their energy bars as well, so you know who they'll be beating the hell up. Some of the enemies are proper teeth, like that guy there with the ball and chain. He's just so annoying. His reach is crazy. So yeah, but no, it's gameplay, I would say, is the best thing about this game, but then turns into the worst thing, because even though you've got multiple different characters, after a certain point the game just shows you no respect and just goes crazy on your ass, and you're just like, my gosh. Yeah, so it is what it is. End of the day, what they say, the day ends. But yeah, no, great game. I think everyone should go and play this game wherever they get a chance to, and however they get a chance to. And speaking of however you get the chance to, do you know what's really annoying? Why the heck, during that time period where they had the license for this game, did this not get some sort of home port? Captain Commando came to the Super Nintendo. The Punisher came to the Mega Drive. Oof. But anyway, this game didn't come to nothing. Neither did Aliens vs Predator. I don't understand. These were some of Capcom's good brawlers that just never saw the light of day at home. I don't like that. I just don't. But it is what it is. Anyway, I want to show you something here. Look at this. Look at this. Here we go. Look, getting attacked from characters from the edge of the screen is never a good thing. I only really notice it in this particular Capcom beat 'em up. Look, what is that about? I think that's stupid. That shouldn't happen. But typical shut up Blanca, or fake Blanca. Look at him. Anyway, yeah, typical arcade game, which will nick your money. Stuff off screen can hurt you. That's never a good thing. But anyway, yeah, this should really have got some sort of home port at some time. I don't know who owns the license for the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, but it would be nice if we could get this easily available for the home with all the niceties that you would get with this. You know, like what we recently got with the Punisher on that Capcom collection that's on the home systems now. That would be really nice if they could do that with this. And it's just annoying that we can't get this game easily accessible on current home systems. Okay, so at the beginning of the video I briefly spoke about history for this game. Basically my history is that I didn't really play it. I think I played it twice in arcade, that was it. And it was, after that, it was like gone. There was other stuff that they brought. I think they sorted it back out for Final Fight or something like that. It just wasn't around, to be honest. It just wasn't around. So unfortunately, I just couldn't get a feel for the game. I didn't know if it was a good game, if it was a bad game. I mean, not that Capcom really make bad brawlers, do they? But I just didn't know. And Chowster always would talk about this. I would always talk about the Punisher. We both talk about Aliens vs Predator. He wouldn't necessarily talk about Punisher because he didn't really play it. In North London, where he used to play most of his games, I'm assuming, you know, when he used to travel to and from places of education. Like, you know, you had to travel a little bit further to get to college. For Americans, that would be high school. Yeah, he mostly saw stuff like this rather than the Punisher, and I mostly saw the Punisher rather than this. And then we both saw Aliens vs Predator. But he's always saying, look, you should really try it. And I didn't, because there was no easy way of me getting this game on the console of my choice. I don't actually own a Windows PC or a Windows laptop or a MacBook or a Mac PC or anything like that. I just have, like, all I have is literally a Chromebook that I need to, when I need to, I don't know, use a web browser and some of the, was it Google services. So for me, a console is always going to be my first port of call for any type of gaming. So yeah, and I just have to deal with that. But yeah, it's just, that was it really. That's basically my history. That's me talking about this game, and I shall see you in the next video. If anyone's got any suggestions, tell me, and I'll try and play those games as well. Anyway, see you in the next video. Peace.